What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Channel Name, your go-to spot for all things college football. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest stories in NCAA history, the sanctions against Michigan for the infamous sign-stealing scandal involving former staffer Connor Stalions. The NCAA just dropped their ruling, and it's packed with fines, suspensions, and some serious drama. If you're a Wolverines fan or just love the chaos of college sports, stick around as we break it all down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates. Let's jump in. Alright, let's start with the basics. On August 15, 2025, the NCAA's Committee on Infractions released their decision on what they called a one-of-one case, meaning it's totally unique in its scope and brazenness. Michigan is getting hit with massive fines that could top $30 million, but surprisingly, no postseason ban. That's right, no bowl game exclusions for the Wolverines. Instead, the committee is stripping Michigan of its postseason revenue for the next 2 seasons. Last year, Big Ten schools got about $7.87 million each from postseason play, and that's expected to skyrocket to over $21 million per school by 2026. So this hurts the wallet big time. They also fined the program 10% of its football budget, around $7.20 million, and another 10% of scholarship spending. Why no ban? The panel said it would unfairly punish current student athletes for the sins of former coaches and staff. Norman Bay, the chief hearing officer and a former U.S. attorney, emphasized that. But Michigan isn't happy. They're appealing, calling out fundamental errors in the NCAA's interpretation of bylaws and evidence. Coaches are feeling the heat too. Head coach Sharon Moore gets suspended for the first game of 2026, on top of a self-imposed 2-game sit-out this season. Former coach Jim Harbaugh, now with the LA Chargers, slapped with a 10-year show cause order, basically barring him from college coaching until 2038. And Stalions himself? An 8-year show cause. Now let's talk about the scheme itself. Connor Stalions, a superfan turned staffer, was the mastermind. Hired in 2022 as a recruiting analyst, his real job was decoding opponents' signals. Sign stealing is legal in college football, but you can't scout future opponents in person. Stalions broke that rule big time. He built a network he called the KGB, recruiting people to film signals from the stands at 52 games involving 13 opponents over 3 seasons, 2021 to 2023. He bought tickets on the secondary market, spent tens of thousands, and called the footage dirty film. Instructions were clear: where to sit, what to film, and how to handle getting caught. This coincided with Michigan's hot streak: 3 straight Big Ten titles and a 2023 national championship. But the NCAA didn't vacate any wins because there's no direct proof it changed game outcomes. They did confirm Stalions snuck onto Central Michigan's sideline in disguise for a Michigan State game in 2023, helping with signals and play calling. Central Michigan's got its own investigation brewing. Bay put it bluntly: you don't spend that much on a secret network unless you're aiming for a huge edge. Intent was clear, but no vacating titles. The scheme was bad, but the cover-up? That's where the NCAA got really fired up. They called out an extensive cover-up with destroyed evidence and stonewalling. Stalions smashed his phone, told a player it was shattered in 1,000 pieces under a pond, and instructed others to lie and smuggle stuff out in backpacks. The committee said this was one of the worst failures to cooperate they've seen. Sharon Moore deleted 52 texts with Stalions and tried to blame it on storage space, later admitting it was an emotional reaction. Harbaugh gets blamed for fostering a culture that ignored rules. He bragged about a gold standard for compliance, but the panel said the program was largely dismissive. One bright spot: former assistant Chris Partridge was cleared of obstruction claims. He was fired but says the media lied about him and now his name's restored. As for funding, Stalions claims he paid himself from real estate, but the committee hints at possible external sources, like boosters, though unproven. The investigation started from a confidential source and a private firm, but the NCAA says they corroborated everything independently. No hacking on Stalions, despite his claims. So, what does this mean for Michigan and college football? The fines are record-breaking, way more than Tennessee's $8 million in 2023. Bay says it's very significant and sends a message: rules matter. But critics wonder if it's enough, especially since the 2023 title stands. Michigan's appealing, which could drag this out. For the program, the real damage might be reputational, lost integrity, as one article puts it. Current players aren't banned, but the stain lingers. Unanswered questions abound. Who really funded it? What did Harbaugh know? The committee says there was at least willful ignorance, but Harbaugh's non-cooperation left gaps. And will this deter others? Time will tell. There you have it, the full scoop on Michigan's sign-stealing sanctions. It's a messy chapter for a powerhouse program, but college football marches on. What do you think? Was the punishment fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more NCAA news, and check out our video on Michigan's 2023 title run. Thanks for watching. See you next time.